Okay, so today we are here doing an interview with the artist known as Kenneth Victor Hartfield. How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing great today. I feel great. The weather's nice in northwest Chicago, and I feel great.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. So let's start out with some simple get to know you questions. We already know your name, Kenneth Victor Hartfield. How old are you?
I'm 65 years old.
65 years young. Awesome. And where were you born?
I was born in lower northwest Chicago, Wesley Memorial in northwest Chicago.
And how did you end up on the north side of Chicago?
Well, I was raised all my life in the lower southwest and southeast side of Chicago. I moved into a group home residence in 1987 at Armitage and Clark. That's when I first moved into the north side in 1987 in Armitage and Clark. And through the Threshold organization, in 1993, I got a one-bedroom apartment at Pratt and Lakewood in northeast Rogers Park. And since then, as of 2003, I lived in northwest Rogers Park with a former roommate named Roy Morikawa, who died in February 7th, 2019, of arthritis in a nursing home. Roy Morikawa.
Oh, okay. All right. So, do you enjoy living on the north side of Chicago?
Well, for one thing, I'm a native of northwest Chicago. I was born here. And another thing, it's less crime in northwest Chicago. In over 3 years, there hasn't been hardly one murder in northwest Rogers Park at all in over 3 years. And in addition, it's more racially diverse in the northwest and east side than it is in the southeast and southwest side.
Yeah, that's one of the main things I love about the north side too. All the different cultures and all of the different ethnicities. They were kind of like the great melting pot here on the north side. So I love living on the north side too. So let's talk about you a little bit and being an artist. Um, how old were you when you started writing music and singing and playing the guitar?
Well, I have a long history of playing guitar and writing music. It was in 1983 with my brother William Hartfield. I started writing and copywriting songs in 1983 in southeast Roseland area of Chicago.
Uh-huh.
One of the songs my brother William Hartfield wrote with me was In the Bayou Strutting in the Dreamland. I played guitars since the early 1980s in southeast Roseland all my life. But I had a series of guitar teachers. I had a guitar teacher in southeast Roseland in Chicago. I had a guitar teacher named Noel Rivera, who was my guitar teacher from northeast Rogers Park, Noel Rivera. Mark Shazevsky taught me guitar chords. Or for over 20 years, guitar chords. My musician, assistant musician, backup musician to my previous songs I wrote, Mark Shazevsky. And Noel Rivera, once again, was my guitar teacher from Northeast Rogers Park, Noel Rivera. He taught me a few chords. And he would say I should play bass instead of electric six-string guitar because I had thicker fingers.
Oh.
But I did practice more on rhythm chords more so than I did blues chord notes.
Okay. Is there any other like relatives or people in your family? Trying to get this lighting right. People in your family that have a history with music or singing or writing?
Well, I'm glad I can answer that question. There was a member of Earth, Wind, and Fire, Phillard Williams. He was my cousin in the
Oh.
1970s. He was my cousin. The late Phillard Williams of Earth, Wind, and Fire was my cousin. And he played backup congas for Earth, Wind, and Fire. His son played the drums, Toby Williams. And he would do musical lick-a-bar gigs all over the north side and all over California, Las Vegas. Toby Williams. And his father, my cousin Phillard Williams, was the original backup percussionist for Earth, Wind, and Fire in the 1970s.
Oh, that's very interesting. So what inspires you to start your musical journey?
Well, at the current time,
No, like originally, what?
a
inspired
a
you?
lot of inspirations I got. One was Jimi Hendrix. I'm a left-handed guitarist like Jimi Hendrix is. I
Oh.
play left-handed and Jimi Hendrix played left-handed.
Okay.
In the 1960s, Jimi Hendrix played the guitar songs upside down with a left-handed guitar.
Oh wow.
And he could play a right-handed guitar upside down.
Oh.
Jimi Hendrix. He was my first inspiration in the 1970s to start playing the electric lead guitar. Another influence was Carlos Santana in the late 1960s. I like how he innovated on musical chords. And he can go all around Carlos Santana innovating on music chords. Now, I would like to make a demonstration
Okay.
based on how Mark Shazevsky taught me chords, Mark Shazevsky,
Okay.
from my own guitar.
All right.
Now, in my own songs inspired by Carlos Santana and Mark Shazevsky teaching me chords, a lot of my songs, I'm going to teach a lesson, involve the A chord, the D chord, and the E chord.
Okay.
All right, here is the A chord. It's the second fret of the first three strings on the guitar, the A chord. I will use that chord in most of my songs, including You Just Cry, and including Love Serenading, and many other of my songs, the A chord, which has this sound on the second fret on the first three strings of the electric six-string guitar. Another chord I would deal with is the fifth chord.
Mm-hmm.
It's the D chord in the fifth fret, which would be this chord.
Okay.
That's the D chord on the fifth fret, and then the E chord on the seventh fret would be this chord.
Interesting.
It is those three sequence chords I will use in the majority of my songs.
Okay.
Uh,
Can you play a little something?
okay. I would like to play You Just Cry on the chords, for instance. That's the A chord.
Okay.
Sometimes Breeze for the song, and sometimes eight, sometimes. That's one sample.
Oh, okay. Very good.
And I was taught those three sequence chords by Mark Szewski from Old Town, a part of Chicago.
Okay.
Now that's the history of what inspired me to play guitar and how I learned how to play chords over time.
Okay. And who would you say is your favorite all-time artist? Would it be or musician?
I'm going to explain to you, you're going to be shocked.
Let me
My favorite all-time artist is Tamari T from Chicago.
Oh, really?
Tamari T from Chicago.
Oh, wow.
I could say Jimmy Hendrix Santana. But this is to me, I say Tamari T is my favorite all-time artist from Chicago. He's young. He plays funk music like George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic.
Uh-huh.
He is currently living right now. And he plays good funk, innovative bar conga music singing like Parliament Funkadelic George Clinton.
Okay.
That's why my favorite all-time inspiration is Tamari T of Chicago, Illinois.
Well, that is a wonderful honor, I'm sure, and I'm going to let him know that you look at him as your favorite artist of the modern day. But what about back then, before Tamari T came along?
Well, back then, my most favorite inspirational artist was Carlos Santana.
Really? Carlos Santana. He's really good on the...
Carlos Santana. I could never, however I played the chords I demonstrated, innovate on music sequence chords like Carlos Santana did.
Oh.
That's why he's my inspiration. And I like his Afro Mexican music.
Oh, okay.
In which he innovates on chords like they do in Africa. Carlos Santana.
Okay. Now, we talk about this often. What is your views or what do you have to say about today's music and the content that...
Okay, go ahead.
The content that a lot of the music that is put out contains. What's your opinion about it?
Well, today's music,
Yeah, about
I
most of
think
today's
all
music.
this gangster rap music is rap trash. All it talks about, for instance, the man that wants to go out with the next woman has his Cadillac. And where does he end up? Killed on the street or in jail.
Yeah.
Gangster rap, they call it.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most trashy, jail prison inspired music that has brought to black men nothing but jails, tragedy, and death.
Yeah. Well, what about R&B music?
I love it.
Even today, like today's modern R&B music, do you think that it's kind of lost some of its value compared to some of the R&B music from back in the day?
Well, wait, it's relative to answer. Okay, not everybody. There are modern R&B hits right now out there that are done by modern R&B performers, but they are not played as often as rap music is. But it's out there.
That's a good point.
You got modern R&B singers that did modern R&B hits right now, modern, but they're not played as often as rap artists.
That's a very good point. Okay, so other than the things that we've talked about, is there anything else you would want your fans and the world to know about Kenneth Victor Hartfield, the artist? Anything else you want to share?
I have a lot of things to share about me. I'm a portrait artist.
Oh.
I have done pastel portrait art for over 20 years.
Wow.
And I am a songwriter and guitarist.
Oh, okay.
And
And
I'm good at computer technician work.
oh, really?
As well as being a portrait artist, I'm a graduate from Truman College in art. I have an associate degree or high honors in art from Truman College.
Oh.
Another thing about Kenneth Hartfield, I have credentials in psychology from New England College, psychology, and criminal justice credentials from Post University in criminal justice.
Oh.
That's the most thing you need to know about Kenneth Hartfield.
Oh, well, that's great. So, in wrapping this up, is there anything else that you like to do as far as a hobby? Like, what do you do for fun?
Well, what I mostly like to do for fun is artwork.
You like to do art?
Because art is a way, since I graduated in art anyway, I can express my feelings like in music through visual images, express my thoughts about things.
What do you do to occupy your time other than music and art? Do you
Cook.
You like to cook?
I love cooking.
Oh.
I have had training as a chef student from Inspiration Cafe in the Northeast Side as a 4-month chef student, chef student. And I love cooking and making meals.
Do you do anything else? Do you like to go to walks, bowling?
Oh, well, I used
Starbucks?
to like to lift weights.
Oh, I remember that.
Before I got rid of my weights, I was lift 50-pound weights, 10 presses a night, 50-pound weights.
Okay.
I love lifting weights. I love walking around the northwest Chicago area because it wakes me up when I'm tired. And it gives my legs walking exercise so my legs stay strong.
Okay. Do you like to go to the movies or?
Always.
Always.
I like the curtain movies. They got like Wakanda, Black Panther. I like the Black Panther movie. Wakanda.
Do you have a favorite movie?
My favorite is the Black Panther.
Is the Black Panther. What about colors? What's your favorite color?
My favorite color, I would say, is the color red.
I knew you was gonna say
It's a real bright color. It represents not only the life of blood, but it's bright. You don't need to put bleach in red, and it shines glamorous when it's clean, red.
Oh, okay. Do you have a favorite book?
Okay, I'll tell you my favorite book, the Bible.
The Bible is your favorite book?
Because it is my source of encouragement when I am stressed and depressed.
Oh, that's good. That's nice to hear. So let's see. I think that's about all the questions that I have. Is there any last minute thoughts or encouragement words that you would like to say before we wrap this interview up?
My encouraging word is this. When life stresses you, always plan your time in advance and give your brain rest. Planning your time in advance, and any financial obligation you pay. Always pay it and plan it in advance. That's my advice.
So keeping busy.
Right.
Okay. Well, I would like to say thank you for taking some time out of your very busy schedule to do this interview. I also want to say that I love your music. I love your artwork. I love buddy time with you, hanging out with you, and doing all the things that we love to do. And it's been an honor to do this interview with you, and hopefully this will be one of many. So for now, I'll say thank you and see you next time.
Thank you.